Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, your big dog, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion. I'm your Pro Bowler. I'm your all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and I'm the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. How y'all doing out there tonight? Tap in, man. It's Thursday night vibes. We're on a little early because there ain't no games tonight. We only got the Super Bowl to watch, the last game of the season, the Super Bowl, New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks, and that is going to be a very interesting game. And I know a lot of people think the Seahawks is going to tear a hole in the New England Patriots, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going down like that. So how y'all doing, man? Y'all tap in. Y'all know we have a lot to cover, man. Twitter has been going crazy, and there's a lot of foolishness that's been going on, and people saying just things that just are asinine, horrific, diabolical. It's just not good for your mental health, the things that has been said out there, man. And we have to talk about that. Yes, we know we have to talk about Emanuel Acho. Speak easy, baby. We have to talk about Bill Belichick and what is that doing and how is that hurting the Hall of Fame? And as well as we have to talk about Coach Prime and his recruiting, the way he recruits, man. So how we doing out there? We're waiting my co-host, 2-3 G's, to pop in. But what do y'all, man? Y'all drop there in the chat, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Emanuel Acho as a person, human being, what he said, what he says on Speakeasy, his takes, and all those different things, man. Let me know what y'all think about him, man, because, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think everyone should have that voice, man. I don't think everyone deserves that platform and be able to spew nonsense the way he does in different topics. But right off the rip, man, our guy, man, right off the rip, Bill Belichick, man, another snub, man. Arguably the greatest coach in the history of sports. Does anyone disagree? Bill Belichick is arguably the greatest coach in the history of sports, right? I mean, you got Phil with the Jordan when he was the head coach. Was Phil Simms or Phil Jackson when he was with the Chicago Bears, and then he coached at the LA Lakers. But Phil Jackson, Bill Belichick, I don't know, man. The greatest head coach, man. One of the greatest head coaches of all time, if not the greatest head coach of all time, is not in the Hall of Fame. And there is the co-host for the night. He is in the building. How we doing tonight, Drees? How are we doing, baby? How we doing tonight, man? How we doing?
I'm doing good, baby. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I was just letting them know, man, we have Twitter on fire. Man, y'all know I'm starting to love that X, man. I'm starting to love Twitter. I like Twitter, man, y'all. I'm starting to get the hang of it, have a little fun, and I'm enjoying the ride, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on all the platforms, but most importantly, make sure y'all hype this up, like, comment, and subscribe, because we got some fire. If you don't know, Drees, the topics for the night, I already told the audience, and told them to talk to us in the chat. Let us know about Emanuel Acho, because it's still coming. We don't stop, baby. So we're going to talk about Emanuel Acho and the Speakeasy platform over there, Coach Prime, and the way he recruits, and also right now, Bill Belichick, man. Let's get into this Bill Belichick foolishness, man. What they got going on with my guy. Like I said, arguably the greatest head coach in the history of all of sports is not a first ballot Hall of Fame. Does anyone disagree with me? Let me know. Speak up. Drees, do you disagree? Is he arguably, if not the best head coach in all of head sports on paper?
Of course, man. He got 9 Super Bowl appearances, second in all time in wins. Of course he is, but I mean, you've been like hitting out there all season long, saying like what he has done lately has it been tarnishing his Hall of Fame ballot, and I mean,
yeah,
it surprised a lot of people. I'm pretty sure you surprised as well too.
Yeah, someone posed the question and asked me, did him taking the job in college at the University of North Carolina, becoming the head coach, did that tarnish his legacy or stop him from being in the Hall of Fame? And I'm like, no. Why would that be a reason for him not to go in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot, right? And you know, while he was coaching the University of North Carolina, all those things that was going on, you know, from the recruiting and the team, it just didn't look good on his legacy. But that is still no reason for him not to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The most winning head coach, 6 Super Bowls, 6 winning Super Bowls, 9 appearances. I mean, we going for days about Bill Belichick things he's accomplished. You know what I mean?
That means
And why do people messing with Belichick like this, though? I don't know why they're messing with Belichick like this. Why?
I feel like it should never be a coach that be first ballot Hall of Fame now. I mean, if what's the standard? If he got the standard to like set up so high that it probably won't be another coach to have the accolades that he has, that means it should never be it should never be a coach that's first ballot
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it should never happen then, honestly.
And I think something really needs to change, man. Something really needs to change to keep the credibility of the Hall of Fame intact. If they want to keep the credibility of the Hall of Fame, they don't want to lose everyone and people start boycotting it. Something needs to change, you know, because my goodness, man, this has to be the worst blemish on Hall of Fame of any sport, right? The worst blemish that a Hall of Fame could take in any sports. You put the world down, the coach of all coaches, you keep him out of the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? And for the record, everyone out there, I stand with Belichick. Despite what y'all may think about me and Belichick, y'all think I have beef and whatnot. No, it's just competitive nature with me. What can you do without Tom Brady? And how can you still succeed without a quarterback like Tom Brady? All the things that I pose are just competitive. There's no beef. So I stand with Belichick. Belichick, brother, we're here. We're here.
How you think Belichick feel? You think he offended by it? How you think he feel?
100% offended, man. Coach Belichick. I mean, all these coaches is what I've learned. I mean, this is the accomplishment of all accomplishments. This is the accolade. This is the king me. I kinged you. I'm a first ballot. You know, this is what makes the coaches go hard and try to win these Super Bowls, man. There's only like 5 coaches, I think, that were ever selected first ballot in the Hall of Fame as a coach. Let alone, I don't even know how many coaches are in the Hall of Fame, you know, but it's hard to make it as a first ballot head coach is what I'm learning. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
he definitely should be one.
He definitely should be one. And me personally, I think the Hall of Fame needs to make one exception. This one time, and put Belichick in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Fame and just correct the mistake and stop the nonsense and everything and the questions everyone have about the Hall of Fame. You know, they need to hurry up and fix this before it's too late. And the issue is this guy right here, Bill Polian, one of the voters of Hall of Fame process, right? And he doesn't know if he want to admit that he voted for Bill Belichick or he didn't vote for Bill Belichick. At first, from what I heard and seen, he didn't vote for Bill Belichick, and he was kind of proud to announce that he didn't vote for Belichick. And of course, if y'all don't know who Bill Polian is, appreciate y'all in the chat. If y'all don't know who Bill Polian is, man, he's a rival. He's a rival general manager / president who was the general manager for the Buffalo Bills way back in the 90s when they went on that Super Bowl winning streak, and also the Indianapolis Colts. So, of course, he's going to be jealous and have envy for Bill Belichick and everything we done in New England because he was trying to compete and do the same thing Belichick did. You know what I mean? He doesn't want Belichick to go down as a better general manager / head coach in Belichick's, way. You know what I mean? He doesn't want Bill Belichick to have all that on top of him. You know, what'd you say? Talk to me.
I said they're just pure hating right there, man.
Yeah, it's pure hating. And I think this is the main the main person that is helping tarnish this legacy of Bill Belichick. And obviously, if y'all don't know Bill Polian, I think the Indianapolis Colts, they the one that discovered the Spygate and the Deflategate. They the one that brought a lot of attention to all these things. I know for a fact, and I do remember after the AFC Championship game, after us putting our hands on the Indianapolis Colts, beating them up, they couldn't do anything offensively. The rules changed because the owner and the organization, the Indianapolis Colts organization, they went to the committee and asked them to not change the rule because the rule was already there, but they made sure those rules enforced. Yeah,
changing rules, man.
changing rules. But the only thing that comes to mind, we already talking about it, is envy. These folks out here, you only can envy Bill Belichick because of his success. The amount of success Bill Belichick has had on one team, owners, general managers, coaches, they will absolutely give their left hand, their left anything, on their body to do what Bill Belichick did. So at the end of the day, like I say, man, they need to do something because we stand with Belichick. We stand with Belichick and fix this nonsense before it's too late, right? There is no more accomplished there is not a more accomplished coach than Bill Belichick.
In the history of NFL.
In the history of NFL, man. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Yeah,
they got to make some corrections, man.
Rick says a total of 29 coaches in the Hall of Fame. It's 5 of them was first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's 5. So it's very rare, man, to make it as a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I mean, if you want to say first ballot and be a first ballot, Coach Belichick has to be the epitome of a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's just simple as that.
I think this definitely stirred up a lot of controversy because I see that Adam Schefter, he tweeted out a statement from the NFL saying that the Pro Hall of Fame had released a statement today. It could remove voters who voted by bylaws.
Yeah,
so they can actually remove voters now because they see some type of like tampering with it. Like it might be some hate in there, and that,
definitely
like mentioned earlier. So
anytime you put things in man's hand, man, man's feelings, emotions is going to have something to do with their selection or their thought process. That's just the fact, man. And obviously they chose to mess with the wrong one, and they messed with Bill Belichick, and that's just too much. He's going to get too much support and too much outrage for them to hold on and continue to back up their decision. So I think something's going to change immediately, and we'll see, man. So big ups to Bill Belichick. If y'all don't know, I stand with Belichick. More power to you, brother Belichick. Belichick, we stand with you. You know what I mean? But think about that, man. I was speaking to TMZ the other day, and there are a lot of New England Patriots who don't get the notoriety they deserve. And being that we groomed or most of our success came from the New England Patriots. You got myself with 50 interceptions, more than 20 interceptions on 2 different teams. I mean, the record in the playoffs for interceptions. And I could go on and on about myself, right? Then you got Bill Belichick, 6 Super Bowls, 9 appearances. Then you got Rodney Harrison, 30 for 30, 30 sacks, 30 interceptions. 3 of us are not in the Hall of Fame. And look at our accomplishments, right? It just doesn't make sense. So, yeah. And for the thing that when they want to talk about cheating, the Spygate and the Deflategate, listen, he got 6 Super Bowls. So if you want to say he cheated for 2 or 3 of them, he still got 3 left that he won. Jesus Christ!
It's like 15 franchises that don't have 1 Super Bowl.
Right.
It's crazy. Like when you think about it,
of them, right? And the Buffalo Bills definitely one of them. That's another reason Bill Polian is super hot, man. It's like this guy just keep winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl. I had a Tom Brady because my Tom Brady was Jim Kelly. Then I got my Peyton Manning, and I still couldn't catch the guy. Man, this is nothing but jealousy, man. Those guys are jealous, man. But more power to him, man. Maybe the coach can figure it out and get some Super Bowls in the future. Belichick ain't winning no more, so you got a chance to catch up. But moving right along, man, we got Shad Sanders has a new coach, and also Acho. He has to have his hot take when it comes to Shad. Shad Sanders gets the views. He meets all the requirements for the month. You know what I mean? But I don't understand. If you want to use Shad Sanders' name, why at this time? Wait until the season is over. Let him get going. Let another season start at least before they start using his man name to monetize it. You feel what I'm saying? Just like let the man live, man. He's struggling as it already is, trying to make it in the NFL. You know what I mean? But like I said, Cleveland Browns, they had their man. They had their man, Todd Monken, the man who was responsible for Lamar Jackson success, right? He's responsible for a lot of Lamar Jackson's success for the last couple of seasons, right? And Lamar Jackson has got better since Todd Monken has been coaching him.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a good sign for Shedeur Sanders. You know what I mean? Also, Todd Monken, he had success with Tyrone Huntley when Lamar Jackson missed a few games. So this brother is familiar with brothers. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and call Todd Monken a brother. That brother right there is familiar with brothers at the quarterback position. So I think this is a great sign for Shedeur heading into next season. Despite what the heck Emanuel Acho is saying, and talking about Shedeur shouldn't listen to his coach, this is going to be a blessed opportunity for Shedeur because obviously Lamar Jackson isn't the typical traditional drop back quarterback. So you had to be creative and do things differently to help make Lamar Jackson successful. I can see him doing the same thing for our guy Shedeur Sanders and then letting his talent take over from there.
So Shedeur Sanders, he got the green light right now for the Browns. He going in training camp as the number one.
You can't really give him the number one card yet. Can't give him the number one spot just because he's a fifth rounder and the politics come into play. You know what I mean? But I definitely know this coach will elevate Shedeur and help him get to the next level. I honestly believe that. I believe Todd Monken will help elevate Shedeur and get him to the next level. Ain't no doubt about it.
What are you gonna do with Dylan? What are you gonna do with Dylan?
We're gonna ignore that, y'all. Just sit back and watch, y'all.
I just want to know.
Shedeur cook. He's trying to get me started. I already had a long day on Twitter. He's trying to get me started, y'all. Don't let him rage bait me, y'all. Don't let him rage bait me, man. But Dylan, he might be able to sustain and be the third or the backup quarterback. You know what I mean? Like you said, you always bring it up. You still got Deshaun Watson. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I like this pick. I like that Todd Monken, he has had a lot of success, in at the University of Georgia. He's had success for multiple teams and multiple organizations. Yes, this is his first time being a head coach, but that doesn't make that much of a difference when it comes to the offense. Now, as a team and a leader of men, yes, you have to be able to handle things and make situational calls and have a lot more responsibilities than you did in the past. So you got to be ready for that. You know what I mean?
We got a comment. We got a comment say, it's your boy said that Monken actually personally recruited Shedeur at UGA and promised Shedeur took an official visit.
Exactly. And at the same time, don't forget, the Baltimore Ravens wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders. You don't think that was Todd Monken that wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders? 100%. So they got a lot of history. Todd Monken knows a lot about Shedeur Sanders, and he can't wait to work with him. I think this is going to be a great sign and a great opportunity for Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, he has to, put that wrist up, and he just has to seize the moment, Then you have people like Emanuel Acho, for the love of God. For the love of God. This man just be saying anything for some goddamn views. Woo! Why they let this man get a platform? I'm starting to feel like Emanuel Acho is a plant. Who planted this man here from the middle of nowhere and have him popping up on everyone's algorithm? Who planted him here? Because he has to be a plant. Why would he start off a negative campaign towards Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns organization? And the season hasn't even started yet. This season hasn't even concluded. We still getting ready for the Super Bowl, and Emanuel Acho has 2 weeks of no football or a week off of football, and he can't help but bring up Shedeur Sanders. And I hate that he's bringing up his name in a negative tone. Why are you pushing all this negative attention towards Shedeur Sanders? We all know Shedeur Sanders is trying to find his way. Now, Shedeur, I'm sorry. Now, Emanuel Acho, you have to be the recipient today for this take, you know what I mean? That that absolutely everyone disagrees with. Emanuel Acho is the only person in the history of social media. Let me rephrase this. Emanuel Acho is the only person in the history of social media with a take that absolutely everyone disagrees with. This is the first take in the history. When I say the history, in the history of social media, Emanuel Acho has did it that everyone disagrees with.
Any expectation for Shador Sanders under Todd Monken, I believe, will lead to disappointment.
Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Yeah.
Any expectation for Shador Sanders under Todd Monken, I believe, will lead to disappointment. There is nothing about Todd Monken as a head coach that should get you excited. As an offensive coordinator, you could say Lamar Jackson had an MVP season under Todd Monken. As an offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson had 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions under Todd Monken. As an offensive coordinator, you can make arguments under Todd Monken. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships at Georgia under Todd Monken. But as a head coach?
What the heck are we talking about? That's a lot of things to get excited about. All that success. Every head coach doesn't come from being a head coach. Some coaches they start off as offensive coordinator, start off as defensive coordinator. He had all the success he just named, and this fool talking about there's a lot to be worried about. Let's continue.
No, nothing about Todd Monken as a head man gets me excited. I need to see who the offensive coordinator is going to be. That's what I need to see. But what I don't yet see, T, is like, how is Todd Monken going to command that locker room, command that group of men, and also, if I'm Shador or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monken? What have you won on an NFL level?
Shut up! You shut your boy. Why would he listen to Todd, the head coach, the new coach who had success with another black quarterback, another brother? I mean, has to be the worst advice. This has to be the worst take that anybody has ever said in the history of hot takes for football. This cannot be allowed. Children, make sure your children do not see this. Block that. I ain't gonna say block him. Block that freaking hot take. Do not let even though it's already viral. You know what I mean? But that is terrible. This by far has to be the most stupidest thing you can ever tell a player besides quitting. You might as well tell them to quit. Just go quit. But I wonder what Emanuel Acho tell his son. If he has one, I don't know. If he had a son that was playing, if he had a son that is playing in the NFL, not to listen to the coach. That's Emanuel Acho had a son in the NFL. Would he tell him not to listen to the coach? Or he just telling other people, children, this? Nigga giving advice for people to fail so they could come join him on Speakeasy. This nigga's using this tactic for recruiting mechanisms and shit like that. He out here trying to recruit people, telling them not to listen to coach so they could come join and Speakeasy. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. That's what it is.
Man, I feel like you got to be optimistic about these coaches these days. It's a lot of coaches where they come like a perfect example. Sean McVay, he became a head coach at 31 years old for the Los Angeles Rams. He only was an offensive coordinator for like a few years, but only 31 years old. Imagine Sean McVay becoming a coach for the Los Angeles Rams, and they say don't listen to him. But he's been one of the most successful coaches since he became the head coach at 31 years old. So you can't count nobody out. At least it's like see his philosophy, see his game plan, see what he's doing, and then you can critique him from that. You don't know what he's going to be as a head coach. Don't just automatically downplay him.
Emanuel Acho has been around for a long time. He has been around super producers. He's been on ESPN, First Take, all these other places. He absolutely knows. He absolutely understands what it takes to be a head coach and the progression to becoming a head coach. He's just absolutely trying to have a hot take to get a bunch of views, and he's using Shador Sanders' name to accomplish that. This is terrible. It's like, what do you want Shador to tell Todd Monken? Don't worry about install. Don't worry about installing the new plays because Shador got it figured out. Don't worry about who the starters are. Don't worry about none of that stuff. Don't worry about calling the plays either, Todd Monken, because me, Shador, I got all that figured out. That's what he wants. That's what he wants Shador to tell Todd Monken.
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
mean, go ahead.
that's how you start a successful team buying into the program. If you already starting off from day one not buying into the program, that there goes your team right there.
There
Day
goes your
one.
team, and there goes that player. Because I'm a new coach, I'm not going to tolerate someone not listening to me and buying into my program. That's a bad apple. That's a bad seed. That's a cancer on the team. What the freak is Emanuel Acho talking about? Am I the only one that think Emanuel Acho sounds like a scammer? Trying to convince someone to send them some money? Am I the only one that feel that way? It's like he's up there just, his mouth is just moving and then a bunch of noise is coming out that doesn't make sense. And it's just like, give me this, give me that. That's all you hear is a bunch of bunch of nice technical and intellectual words and things like that. Yes, you sound pretty convincing to some fools that don't know no better, but to a real one, you sound like an idiot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. I kind of learned my lesson with Nick Sirianni. You know, Nick Sirianni got hired as Eagles head coach. He was an offensive coordinator that never called plays. I'm like, why are you hiring this guy? He never called plays at the end of his life as an offensive coordinator. He came over to the Eagles, changed the culture, and he's got the most wins in the first 5 years of head coaching. Like, I never would have thought that at the day one. I'm like, did you hire this guy? Like, this guy's nobody. So you never know. And he's way more experienced than Nick Sirianni was at this point in his career, where he actually led teams to playoffs. He actually created MVPs. So like he got a head start other than this new NFL. A lot of these new NFL coaches are out of nowhere, honestly.
It's about being a leader amongst men. How can you lead men, grown men? That's all it's about. If you can be a great leader, everything else will fall into play. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there are some technical things and experience you need to learn and understand situational football as a head coach. But I mean, being a good leader is such a powerful thing, man. I think it's one of the most underrated things in life. You know what I mean? And I think for some people like Emanuel Acho, coming in this success, this newfound success that he somehow obtained with the Speakeasy brand, and we're going to get into that. I think money drives some people crazy. People let money get to them and drive them, make them feel like they're more powerful than they've ever been, and it just gives everyone this false sense of reality that they need to be someone they are. Authenticity is always the best way to go, you know? And it's like Acho is willing to sell out, make himself sound ignorant, make himself sound like a horrible media personality just for some views. You know, he and everyone else knows that was horrible.
Yeah.
And the most asinine thing to even put out there. And the bad part about it, he didn't delete it. He kept it up the entire day.
Ain't no such thing to delete on the internet. It's always gonna be around. Once it's up, it's up.
But at least you can stop the nonsense from coming your way. Like, okay, let me do a little damage control. Fool just left it there the whole day. Let everybody just ride on him. Yeah, it got views, but all money ain't good money. You know? Now his credibility looks ass out. His credibility looks shot. It looked like it was on the wall, and it was you know, it was one of those aiming things for bow arrows, or at the gun range, you just shot it up. You know, his credibility just straight gone, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree from sometimes, but this is a horrible take, especially from a person that plays sports in their lifetime.
Yeah.
It's funny as you said that about the newfound fame or success or whatever.
Yeah,
I saw a video. They asked him like, "What's his biggest flex?" He was like, "I paid more in taxes than I paid more in taxes last year than I made in my whole NFL career."
What that tell you? Somebody that ain't used to this stuff. They ain't used to this success. He feeling himself. He don't know how to act. He think he's the new Shannon Sharp. Nobody likes him. Nobody really wants to see him on Speakeasy. Everyone is coming to see Shady McCoy if he don't understand and realize. And like I said, and we talked about, and I sent the tweet out. And let me read my tweet. Y'all know I'm always going off on Twitter. Let me read the tweet real quick. I say, I think this what got the man Emmanuel a little bit. Acho. I say, Emanuel Acho buys a platform with millions of followers to force people to listen to his stupidity. He sounds like an educated fool. And then I say, my next tweet is like, Emmanuel sounds like them scammers calling your phone trying to get you to send them 50K. So I was going in, you know what I mean? Now, everyone is wondering how Emanuel Acho all of a sudden is popping up everywhere and has so many subscribers on this new platform, Speakeasy, this new show that he launched. Everyone is wondering where it came from. And we all know Emanuel Acho wants to look like the big dog. So he makes it seem like he's created this new show and he's the man that put all this together and he did it, you know, off the muscle, I guess, yeah? Something. He wants us to believe something besides what actually happened, you know? And obviously he didn't create that show from scratch because the cat's out the bag.
Uh-oh.
The cat's out the bag.
Uh-oh.
And he came, you know, I seen the first episode and, you know, the host had to clap him in. The man who is responsible for putting this all together, and Acho's sitting back and he was just feeling himself and, you know, blushing all over the place. Acho, Emanuel Acho, let me give you a little advice, brother. Let me give you a little advice. It would have been more player and authentic if you came out and said, man, I just reached a deal with such and such to acquire all these intellectual assets and the Twitter and all the social media from the facility, Undisputed, whoever it may be. But you want to come out and try to fake it till you make it. Want to act like this was yours. It was yours all along. You know? Once you do that, Emmanuel, once you come out and be authentic and tell everyone you present this like you just stroked a check, you cut a deal with whoever you did to acquire this, now nobody can talk shit about what you're doing. Now you look like the man either way. But you want to go out there and fake it until you make it. But that works for some people, so more power to you. You know what I mean? But when it doesn't work out for you, oh man, people coming left and right. People coming left and right. You understand? And I think that's just so like a guy like Emanuel Acho to act like he is the man because he's acquired a platform with such a big following.
I might run into him next week. I'm gonna be on during Super Bowl week. I'll be on Media Row, so he might have a little setup out there and all that. Next
and
week,
nothing wrong with that, man. Let me tell you, that's good business. Listen, that is great business for him to negotiate a deal to acquire all those assets from the Undisputed or the facilities, wherever he acquired these assets from. That is great business mind. You know what I mean? But for you to come out here and want to act like you did this on your own and don't be authentic with the people don't like that. Y'all love me because I'm authentic. Y'all seen me come from the grind up. I mean, I came on here with nothing really to barely any equipment. But I was really inspired to come out here and talk some crap with y'all, man, and have some fun. But let's check this out.
You're not even a head coach on an NFL level. So I don't even that group of men. And also, if I'm Shador or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monken? What have you won on an NFL level as a head coach? You're not even a head coach on an NFL level. So I don't even have expectation for Shador under Todd Monken because I believe any expectations I would have, he would not meet. Because why am I excited about it, T? Why?
Man, I really like some of his takes, but that you can't start a team off talking team don't listen to your coach. That's hard. That's horrible take.
Right there. That's the same scam. That scam right there that he's spewing out right there. It sounds like that those scammers that keep calling you on the phone and he's telling you go put $500 in such and such account. It's gonna wire the money immediately, and when the money hit, I'm gonna immediately send you back $20,000. That's the type of scam it sounds like Emanuel Acho is saying right there. Why would I listen to Todd Monken? What has he accomplished? Forget he's my head coach. What has he accomplished for me to listen to him? Oh man, what did it? What? I know, man. And let me tell you, man, if you're a sensitive person, man, social media and this stuff ain't for you. If you're a sensitive guy, you ain't gonna make it, bro. You ain't gonna make it. You gotta have tough skin out here, man. You know, and stand on business. So, you know, shout out to Emmanuel, shout out to Speakeasy Camp, man, and shout out to my boy Shady, man. And yeah, man, y'all keep going. You know, it's just one of those days you got to get through, you know, and it'll be another day. So, yeah, man, next subject, man. Next topic for the night and the last topic for the night. How we doing out there? Chat. Let's talk about Coach Prime, man. Coach Prime, what he's up to, man. And, you know, Coach Prime, he ruffled some feathers talking about recruiting cornerbacks, right? And a lot of people didn't really agree, you know what I mean? But I see Coach Prime, you know, obviously got people in their feelings when it's Coach Prime. Coach Prime say something, it goes viral all of a sudden, you know, and he doesn't want to recruit cornerbacks under 5'11". But guys, this isn't nothing new. This has always been around in the NFL and football, period, since I made it to the NFL. Recruiting smaller cornerbacks has always been a no-no because you don't want the receivers to have a size advantage. You know? When I was coming out, like I said, I was considered a smaller cornerback. But I had that film. That film was straight dog material. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what got me to the NFL because coaches saw that dog in me. You could be 6'3", you could be 5'9". If you got that dog in you, coaches is going to see. Right? And there's always an exception to the rule. And I'm sure there's an exception to Coach Prime rule. If he sees a cornerback 5'10", 5'9", that's absolutely a dog, one that has ball skills, he could play with any type of receivers, no matter the height or the size. I'm sure Coach Prime would want that player on his team.
Facts.
But in all reality, in all actuality, if the ultimate goal is to make it to the NFL, and the NFL are looking for cornerbacks that are 6'2" or better, and they very rarely recruit 5'11" or cornerbacks shorter than 5'11", why would you bring him to your team? Why? And that's the absolute dog. Let's listen to Coach Prime.
And they're recruiting guys in your image. And that's what it seemed like you've done in the defensive backfield. You see a lot of 6'1" corners.
Yeah, I don't like 5'11". 5'11" is mine. That's it. I can't go no shorter than that. Yeah, unless they walk on, and I want to give them a chance if they walk on. But there's not an initial investment, but they could be if they prove themselves. But that's my cutoff because I know the NFL. NFL is not drafting someone on that island.
Exactly.
Short of the play outside, you know, maybe to play slot. And I wish they would draft more slot corners. They don't do that till late. And I don't understand that because now in the NFL, you got a $20 million receiver playing against a free agent in the slot. That don't make no sense whatsoever because they don't value the slots. And the slots, they're very valuable in college football as well as the NFL.
Now understand. He said he doesn't recruit. That means I'm not going to take time out of my recruiting schedule to go visit this 5'11" or 5'10" cornerback. Now, on the other hand, if I call Coach Prime, someone from down here in South Florida, someone in Texas call Coach Prime, or this cornerback is 5'10" and he's a 5-star recruit, and he sees the film and he's an absolute dog, you don't think Coach Prime is going to go visit that young man? Absolutely. So don't take someone's words and just run with it. There's always an exception to all the rules. You know what I mean? And I think Coach Prime, he says a lot of things that is taken out of context because he's a vocal guy, you know, and he want to be transparent in every way, and that's how he roll. But a lot of things he says get taken out of context. My son is 5'9", barely 5'10". You know, my Coach Prime and my son, you know, they had a lot of spent a lot of time together in the camps and things like that. He knew my son was a dog right off the rip. So if my son was coming out right now, I 100% believe, you know, he probably would try to recruit him. So that's just how I feel.
It's funny. Like what he was saying was like true, honestly. Because when you called me, I was actually looking up like the top corners in NFL, all their heights, and everybody was 5'11" or taller.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Bro, when I first started this podcast and I used to go out and interview people, different NFL players in their town and the city and things, like everybody that I see, I was looking at them like, y'all are that much bigger than me. I played with y'all against y'all in NFL. This how big cornerbacks are now. Like, it's ridiculous, man. People are actually extra large out there on the football field.
And another true statement he said in there, he was like, teams not recruiting slot corners. The Eagles recorded. They're not drafting slot corners. The Eagles drafted Cooper DeJean to be a slot corner in the second round, and this year he all pro. So
that's the only team, the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a history of doing that since Bobby Taylor, Troy Vincent, and Al Harris. They always carried that tradition of having 3 cornerbacks, and then after that, that 3 left, and you had Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepherd, along with I forget who was in the slot, but they always carried that tradition of having 3 cornerbacks. That's how the Philadelphia Eagles thrive, man. That's how the Philadelphia Eagles thrive. You know? So yeah, man, don't take Coach Prime, his statement and run with it. You know, that's just the outlook of everything. When we set out our recruiting possibilities and things like that, we're not picking 5'10" and 5'9" to go. Yeah, we might miss out on a player here and there. Yeah, but when you stay consistent in your formula, everything comes together. Now, still talking about Coach Prime. Now we want to do the comparison. Now they want to compare Coach Prime. They're always bringing up Coach Prime name to try to compare him with someone just for entertainment, I guess, And just think about this, right? I want y'all to think about it like this. Don't always look at names, because names can throw you off sometimes. You hear a name and that name has so much popularity that you automatically go with it, right? And, one cornerback. So people continue to compare cornerbacks and want to say that one is the greatest ever and the other is all these type of things. So I want y'all to do this. One cornerback has a total of 29 career interceptions. The other cornerback has 54 career interceptions. Is it close? Who is better? Can it even possibly be close to who is better? It's just not possible for the cornerback that has 29 interceptions to be better than the cornerback with 54 interceptions under normal circumstances. Now, if the cornerback with 54 interceptions, he gives up a 100-yard game every game, yes, that's not normal circumstances. He probably shouldn't be starting. So under normal circumstances, I mean, people, even ex-players, not only just normal people, even ex-players try to compare Deion Sanders and Coach Prime, Deion Sanders and Darrelle Revis, and try to make up every excuse besides production of why Darrelle Revis can possibly be better, which makes no sense. Let's check it out. We're going to stop it right there. See, and that's what they can do. When you want to shy away from the facts, now you have to hype things up to create that best player. Terrell on, all those players were late in their career. Who was in their prime? What receiver in their prime? And where is the production? But let's get back to the point, right? Because Brandon Marshall says, from a technique standpoint, Darrelle Revis is better than Deion Sanders. What kind of statement is that? There's a lot of people that's better than such and such and whoever in technique. What does that prove?
Man.
For that matter, I would say Patrick Surtain has better technique than Darrelle Revis. Lil Pat has him beat in that category. Patrick Surtain in press coverage is superb. His size alone helps him be superb. And he has the most patience I ever seen out of every cornerback out of any cornerback. He gets his hands on a receiver mostly every time he's in press coverage, more than any other cornerback I've seen. So if you want to talk about techniques, we can say Patrick Surtain technique is better than Darrelle Revis. But what is that saying? You understand? You're just trying to use Deion's name to create some noise. No, man. You can never compare a cornerback who has 54 interceptions to a cornerback who has 29 interceptions. Where they do that at? I get it. The media and everyone, makes cornerbacks and creates the marketing to make things look bigger than life, like they was doing with Sauce Gardner until, we had to build this platform and let them know what it is. They can't get away with this anymore. But yeah, go ahead, Dries. Talk to me.
I was thinking it might be a little bit of Brandon Marshall went up against Darrelle Revis. He never went up against Primetime,
Yeah.
And Michael Irvin, he went up against Primetime. So Michael Irvin, no, I went against Primetime. Primetime like that. And Brandon Marshall trying to say, I went against Darrelle Revis. I already know what he do. So it kind of could be like a little bit biased because they went against these players as well, too. That could play a part of it.
No, you're 100% right. And I was telling Shady McCoy that the other day, man. I was like, yes, what Darrelle Revis did to Brandon Marshall, he better say he's the best. How he manhandled, dogged him out, had an interception for 100 yards plus on him, put his hands on him. Of course, Brandon Marshall doesn't have a choice but to say that he's the best and he's the dog or whatever. Because to him, he couldn't do nothing. So, yeah, I get it, But when you start trying to say technique, bro, there's 29 total interceptions in a career. That's not a comparison. You can't compare that. Now, we can get into pass breakups and how many times you took the ball to the house, and we can keep going. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's all good. It's all good. But if we want to talk about technique, I can pick other cornerbacks that have superb technique as well. But that isn't saying too much of anything,
Right.
So I think we got to stop using Deion. Like, if a player wants to compare themselves player to Deion, yeah, because we play sports to be competitive. So any player has any right to try to compare themselves and try to match up the numbers or, state their case, why they think they may be better. But for other people just to be, and that's, cornerback is such a tricky position because that's one position where they try to stay away from the stats and create the narrative of who is the best. And that's how they try to talk about cornerbacks. But we ain't doing that no more, you know what I mean? We ain't doing that no more, man. So, man, what else we talking about, man? We got the chat, man. How we doing out there tonight, man? We had a good time tonight. We got to keep this cracking. Who we got here? Go Pats! I missed a few shows. I'm here tonight.
He was screaming "Go Pats!" since
That's
week
Bruce
one.
Lee. Bruce Lee, where have you been? My boy Bruce Lee. Yeah, man, we've been riding out, man, talking about Mike, man. Mike Vrabel, my guy, man. He was, like I said, I was so happy, so ecstatic when Mr. Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, picked one of my teammates, my ex-teammates, to be the head coach because I knew right off the bat, my first encounter with Mike Vrabel, I knew he was a excellent leader, and I knew he would be a leader, a good leader of men. He was working with the NFLPA back then, and he didn't mind, no matter who you were, whether it was Bill Belichick, Mr. Kraft, he was going to say how he felt and act the way he wanted to act. But he was going to make sure he followed the rules at the same time. But he's an authentic guy, and he's going to do what he has to do to win, man. So, shout out to Mike Vrabel, New England Patriots, man. Y'all think the Patriots are going to pull this off? Last question of the night, y'all, in the chat. Who we got? Give me some scores in the chat. Patriots versus Seahawks. What do you think the score will be? Do you think Drake May can prevail against this Seahawks defense? Or do you think Sam Darnold is going to make the Minnesota Vikings hate themselves for the rest of his career in the NFL?
That sounds crazy. Sam Darnold in a Super Bowl. That sounds crazy.
Super Bowl, Lanny. What we got? What we got in the chat? Asante didn't have a name like Revis Island. Exactly, I didn't. You're right. But that's the hype. That's the media. And guess what? They tried to do a Sauce Gardner Island as well. But I stopped that. I stopped that. You see what I'm saying? That's hype, guys. That's hype. Hype is great. Hype is great. But when we talking facts. You think Belichick was gonna let Asante Island be named in New England? The Patriots? Are y'all crazy? This man tried to hide us. We wasn't even the side chicks. We was the third chick. This man wanted to hide us far away as possible from the media or whoever else he could hide us from. They say Seahawks 24-20, man. Oh man. Oh, Marley man. Let me give you a shout out, Marley man. 24-20. That's a good score. That's a good score. I like that score, but nah, man, I don't know.
Man, neither one of our predictions for Rookie of the Year made it, man. To the finalists. They do it next Thursday, but they none of the finalists.
My tight end from
no, he's not a finalist.
Who they give it to? Bijan Robinson.
Hold on, I gotta go find it.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that on the next show. We'll talk about the Rookie of the Year. We'll talk about that in the next show. But yeah, man, it's Thursday night vibes, man. I had fun rocking with y'all tonight. Oh, last thing, man. I'm so excited, man. Me and my daughter, we had a long year last year. She was battling some injuries. She's finally feeling better. She's in college, a freshman. She's running in her first meet in Arkansas, indoor, baby, 60-meter hurdles, Elisa Samuel. We planning on doing big things, so y'all watch out. Anytime y'all see a Samuel out there participating, she run on Saturday. Saturday. So University of Florida, all the SEC schools and things like that will be out there competing against each other. So if y'all see any Samuels out there competing anytime, y'all make sure y'all support. Hey, and we need all those Speakeasy audience and members and chats and subscribers to come on over here, baby. Let's go. We recruiting. Speakeasy.
Speakeasy.
Let's go. Y'all come on. But yeah, man, we had fun rocking with y'all tonight. I'm your boy Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. That's your boy over there.
3 degrees.
Yeah, man, and we're going to see y'all next time. We're going to be talking about these rookies. We're going to be talking about Super Bowl predictions and whoever else decides to act foolish out there in this football world. We are